Hi guys, in this video I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. Now, the reason I've decided to buy the Pro Controller is because I tried to play games on the Nintendo Switch handheld using the Joy-Cons, these two, when they are attached to the Nintendo Switch, and I tried to play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And after a short period of time, relatively short period of time, my fingers start a bit aching, and I felt, very uncomfortable playing that game. And maybe for some games I won't feel it, but I just felt that I need something better, something that I feel more comfortable playing with, and I gave more control and accuracy over the movement of the characters in the game. So I knew from that point on that I have to own a standard controller, and maybe handheld can be good for when you play like a few short sessions. But if I want to play a few hours, there's no chance. I told myself there's no chance I'm going to use the Joy-Cons, and I have to buy a controller, and this is the reason I bought the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller. One of the main downsides for me was that I already was familiar with the PlayStation 4 controller and controller scheme, and it's a bit different than this one. When it comes to games, I don't know. We can the controls are pretty similar in terms of the buttons, the 4-button layout, the arrows, and the 2 sticks. But in terms of the game, what is backward, what is an action button, it's a bit different, and it took me some time to get used to it. That being said, let's talk first about ergonomics. So, in general, the Nintendo Switch feels very comfortable. I have relatively big hands, so I feel, it's comfortable to hold it, but there are a few caveats. So, let's compare it to the PlayStation 4, for example. The PlayStation 4 just built perfectly for my hand. It just feels like a glove to my hand. I don't even feel that I'm holding a controller. This area is very bulky and thick, so it's really I feel like it's a perfect fit for my hand. I feel very comfortable holding it. Whether with the with the Pro Controller, I feel a bit loose, like it's not, doesn't fill up, it's not filled up enough for me to feel that I have a good firm and hold of the controller. So in that aspect, this area, the one that I put in the palm of my hand, I feel that the PS4 controller is better, more comfortable for me. That's what I feel. Now, in terms of using the left stick, so usually you use the left sticks to control your character in the game and doing other stuff like navigating through menus. And with the Nintendo Switch, it's very comfortable to use it. It's in a very natural position holding the controller, as you can see. Whether with the PS4, when I'm playing, like Overwatch, I'm like this. So it isn't that comfortable because I need to force myself a little bit to move my finger down and to be in this position. So it's not comfortable as with the Pro Controller, where when I'm holding the controller by default like this, my thumb is already on the left stick, as you can see. Now, in terms of the buttons feel, I don't know how to say it, a bit loose, slightly a bit, I don't know, it still feels good and durable, but not the same as the PS4 one. And this controller is a few years old. I'm saying when you buy it new, it feels better. Just for it today, so looks so bad because this is an old controller. But pressing the buttons on the PS4 controllers feel more firm, secure. I don't know how to pronounce, but it feels better overall. Now, both the left and right stick feel good. Maybe quite loose compared to how it was with the PS4 controller sticks when they came, when I bought them new. It was harder. It has like even now you can feel it. You know, the Pro Controller feels a bit flimsy, slightly. Whether with the PS4, it just feels, I don't know, like, again, like it has a better hold, you know. Also, you know, it feels more, you know, durable compared to the Pro Controller. But again, nothing much, but still, you feel it. Now, in terms of general feeling, how the controller feels, you know, it feels plasticky. And both of them feels plasticky, but this one feels maybe because also how it looks. You know, the PS4 controller looks really, you know, something like it doesn't have this semi-transparent look, and so it doesn't look like, you know, something that's a bit cheap. Whether, you know, the PS4 looks solid, totally opaque, but also the plastic, and this is just something that I feel, yeah, it just feels stronger, more built, but not by much, but you still feel it when you hold this device compared to this one. Also, the PS4 weighs a bit more. I mean, this is something I just feel, yeah. The Pro Controller is a bit lighter. The PS4 controller weighs more, a bit more. It's not too much, but you feel, it just feels more solid in general. Now, as I said, the buttons feel okay, especially this one. The arrow button feel really good. You feel like it feels good. The problem is with those buttons, I don't know, this feel kind of odd. The way they're embedded, the plus button, the minus button, this button for the switch on the recording a video capture, and the home button. Let's look at this. Just, you know, I mean, I know they're supposed to be like, you know, secondary buttons, but still they feel, you don't feel that comfortable. And actually, even during the game, if I want to like click this button to capture a screenshot, I mean, I need to search. It doesn't feel, I need to search for it, because, you know, it's more feels like a flat something or than a button. You know, just look at this in terms of height. It doesn't feel like a button. There's something that's, you know, doesn't want to be there. Anyway, these four buttons are kind of awkward in terms of the way they implemented them. I think making them more, you know, prominent, protruding a bit more from the controller would have been better. Just feel odd. Now, there's another thing about these buttons. Yeah, the shoulder button. No, these ones here, the ZL and the ZR. So now these I don't feel that they are very comfortable for me, not for my hands, because I feel that I need this extra, like, you know, a bit 3 millimeters, you know, protruding 3 millimeters more in order for it to be perfect for my hands. Whether with the PS4, it's just perfect. It just, you know, it just secure itself perfectly. You know, it's protruding exactly at the right place where I feel really comfortable. I just put my hands, laying my hands here, and I can just click. Whether with the Pro Controller, you see, I have this bit of space, so I need to do this, and it's not that comfortable, because if I want to hold it, you know, freely, and, you know, by default I'm just using this holding, because this is how comfortable I am holding something in my hands. But there's space, you see. And now look at this with the PS4. See, I'm already touching it. So in the PS4 it's protruding more. Again, for some hands, of course, might feel difference. You might feel that, you know, it's for you, it's more comfortable holding the Pro Controller than the PS4. But for me, it's, you know, I need, like, it's just not too comfortable. I don't even know what to say. Too comfortable. It's comfortable, but, you know, I just feel that it's not perfect. Now, this is something that I really would have wanted the Nintendo Switch to have, is the option to connect the headphones to the controller itself, and you don't have this option. You can connect the headphones only to the console. Here you have this headphone 3.5 headphone socket where you can connect the headphones. So it's a pretty neat feature. Now the other thing that I find very comfortable, and I use it massively in Super Smash Bros., is using this stick. It's very comfortable. It just sits in a short distance compared to when you hold your flex your finger, the right hand. So if I want, for example, in Super Smash Bros. To make a move, I just do like this, and it's very comfortable. It's a short distance, and I can make moves and quickly move my hand back to the buttons. Whether on the PS4, you know, you still have it, but it feels, I don't know, like a bit of distance, slightly more distance. Let's check it out. You see, I'm holding it here. So there's a distance, slightly small distance, but I still feel it. You know, when I play the game, it's more comfortable for me to use this right stick to do certain things compared to how I do it in the PS4. Now, in terms of design, to be honest, I don't find this controller to look, I don't know, attractive. It's not that attractive in my opinion. I mean, the PS4 controller looks amazing. Really amazing. I mean, I like the design. This is something completely subjective, of course. This one, I don't know, it looks kind of, you know, like it's a fat area here, and it's a bit semi-transparent. Some of you might like it. I personally don't. And you saw this area kind of big, and there's a different terms of, you know, this checked texture compared to how this one looks, like this semi-transparent look. So, you know, it just feels like this one has really nice continuous design, and you only see a little different with the texture here. So it's actually needed if you want to have a good grip. But the thing is that the Nintendo, the Pro Controller has also a grip here in this area. So overall, in terms of gripping, I said that the Nintendo Switch has a better gripping because the grip is you know, is the entire area, both down here and up here. So the area that of the inner part of the palm of your hand that holds the controller itself. Now these shoulder buttons and these ones, the L and the R, are better for me on the Pro Controller. Look at this, it's just perfect for my hand, just perfect. Yeah, it was out of focus. So just perfect. Feels really, really good. Whether on the PS4, I mean, it's still good, but it's a bit, for me, it's over protruding. You know, a bit over protruding. I prefer, I mean, these two buttons, the button, but for the shoulder buttons here, it's not, I don't know, it feels stressed a bit. On the Pro Controller, it feels perfectly, like perfectly. And these are long buttons, very long, as you can see, very long buttons compared to the PS4. They're quite small. But overall, when I play games with this controller, it feels very comfortable. And you know, if you play a game like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is all about smashing tons of buttons, intelligently, of course, you need something that you know, first of all, is durable and can withstand tons of click and movement and smashes and I don't know what, but also something that would feel comfortable for playing for a long period of time. And in this aspect, the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller does a very, very good job. So I can play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate like for a few hours without feeling anything. And that's how I know the controller is doing like a good job in what it's supposed to do, because it's comfortable. I can play it for a long period of time with no any types of aching whatsoever. I mean, it's very comfortable. The only thing I need to get used to, I told you, is the different types of, what is back and what is action buttons, which is a bit different from the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch. But other than that, it takes some time. Even now, I'm a bit confused using it because I used the PS4 controller for such a long time. But again, in time, I'm gonna get used to it. And you can even customize the controls, but in general, I don't want to mess with it. I want to get comfortable with the default control scheme, so I'm not changing anything. But overall, it's very, very comfortable to use. So I had my doubts about the controller. I wasn't sure whether I want to buy it or not, but at some point, after playing with Joy-Cons, I knew that it's not a question. I need to buy a controller. There were several controllers. It's not the only one, of course. There are third-party ones. But I just read so many good things about this controller, and the thing that I worry about is durability and the durability of the buttons and everything. I don't want to. I played with third-party controllers before, and I had terrible experience. So I just told myself, and it's not a cheap one. It's an expensive controller, relatively expensive controller. So I decided to buy it, and that's it. Just forget about it. Just buy a good controller, the one that is made for the Switch by Nintendo, and just forget about it. Just enjoy it, and that's it. So I bought this controller. But there are other options for you if you want to buy cheaper ones. There are cheaper options with design that is similar to the Nintendo Switch. Some are a bit different. It's up to you. Of course, there are the other third-party controllers like the ones for the GameCube. I actually bought something that is similar to the GameCube. I ordered it. It's supposed to come in a few days, and I'm going to review it and try it out. And maybe it's going to be better for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in particular, but I need to try this out. Overall, it's an excellent controller. Again, for me, in general, I prefer the PS4. But maybe maybe it takes time to get used to it, and after I get used to it, I'm gonna just move to the PS4 and say, this one is better. I don't know. I mean, maybe because I'm used to it for playing with this so much time with the PS4 controller that it just feel like like part of my body, in a way. Yeah. So, and again, if you don't like the design, it doesn't matter for me. I mean, the design doesn't matter. I don't mind the design looking like this. I mean, I like the PS4, but I don't care, because at the end of the day, I don't look at the controller. I'm just holding it like this and playing a game, and my eyes are on the Nintendo Switch console itself, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, I can share with you my opinion in general, but it doesn't matter. What matters is it feels comfortable to hold. I can play hours with it without any problems, and that's what matters with the controller. So I'm going to give you like a look at the controller close up, and so you can look yourself how it looks. And I'm gonna press some buttons so you can hear the sounds. These are LED lights here, 4 LED lights. So this is the sound, if you can hear. You can also press it. Alright, this one feels really good. These are these buttons, B, Y, X, and A. This is the plus button, home button, screenshot button. This is the LED light, you see. These are those buttons, R, the ZR, ZL, L, and this is just an icon. I can put it off. This is a USB-C connector. You can connect and charge your Pro controller, or play with it so it's connected to the station, and you can also play with it and charge it at the same time. Overall, this controller is really well worth buying. And if you're searching for a durable, well-built, responsive, comfortable, ergonomic controller, I recommend getting this one. There are alternatives, but up to you. But overall, a very good controller. That's it. If you like this video, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll give you more gear reviews videos of things that I'm enthusiastic about, not related directly to augmented reality. And this is just one. When I get the second controller, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to play with it, Super Smash Brothers, and probably other games, that to check out how the other controller, the GameCube alternative controller, works with other games than just Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. That's it. Until then, see you on the next video, guys. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. And see you again soon. Peace. Bye bye.